So this season, lad, you lost three starters in the linebacker room. All moved on right now with Micah, Jan Johnson, and Cam. How's the competition level been in the linebacker room? A lot of guys have to step up this year to maintain that level of play from last year.
I think every year so far since I've been here, we've had great competition. Especially this year, we feel like we have like really good competition this year. We keep pushing each other, and I think it's gonna be a pretty good season. Like you said, we lost three starters, but we have people that'll come right back up and fill those spots. So I'm excited.
Kenny, go ahead.
I know everybody's kind of been talking about it. It was kind of the talk of the last 2 days, but with Micah deciding not to come back, have you been in contact with him at all? And how do you think that you guys in the linebacker room can fill in for not having him this year?
Honestly haven't reached out to him in a while. I probably will here in the next couple of days, but yeah, that news came out, and it would have been great to have him come back. He's one of the best players in the country, obviously, but I feel like it's that next person up mentality, and we feel like we're strong there. We're strong with Ellis, Jesse, Brandon, Lance, all of them. They fill in that spot, and I think we have a pretty good group of guys this year.
Gabe?
What are some of the things you learned from those guys who are now gone, Jan, Cam, and Michael Parsons?
Honestly, just kind of work ethic and how to go about everything. Like Jan, Micah, and Cam were always in the playbook, always asking questions, just always getting those extra reps after practice. So just kind of the work ethic and just how to just be a good linebacker at this level.
Kenny?
I know that it's been a very noisy last couple of months with Big Ten football and the sports in general. How did you stay focused yourself and being mentally prepared to any moment that the Big Ten could come back? And now that we're only a couple of weeks away from the season, how have you stayed mentally prepared to be playing football in a couple of weeks?
Well, it all kind of started with Coach Franklin. He did a great job with everything, not trying to get us in that, like he said, like emotional roller coaster. So it all kind of started with him, just always keeping us prepared, always working, always practicing, and just kind of getting ready. Being ready so we don't have to get ready for the season when it comes.
What are some of the things that you think you need to work on and improve to take your game to the next level?
Me personally, I still need to get in the playbook because I got moved to Mike this year to hold a completely different position, but I still gotta learn the plays. Well, I'm pretty good with like the plays and everything. I just gotta keep working, keep looking at that, just work on my fundamental work, my steps, my hands. Got to work on that and just kind of overall just keep being physical.
Have you been watching a lot of college football and the NFL recently? And are you watching it more as a fan, or are you kind of looking at things that guys might have been going through kind of with the way everything happened with COVID, that you could possibly take a mental note and try to make sure that doesn't happen to you and your team?
Yeah, over the past month or so, I guess I've been sitting down watching a lot of college football with my roommates, just kind of watching how like COVID and everything it's kind of I guess you would say like bringing some teams down. They weren't really prepared. It looks kind of sloppy, and we're really trying to focus on just being the best we can and not having any mistakes that other teams are making right now.
No, I guess it's just us three now. I guess kind of a little bit off the Penn State topic, but your former high school's got a big game coming up next week against State College. You're going to be, it's on TV on our network on WHBL, but I don't know if they'll have an opportunity to go. But what are you thinking of them this year?
They were coming off a tough week one loss out of Tuna, but I know Coach Oswald is going to get them right and hopefully get back on track this next week.
I guess another one. Is there any what are the players that you grew up watching, whether it was in the NFL or in college, that you wanted to kind of mold your game after?
Honestly, I was growing up. I was obviously a Penn State fan, and I would kind of just watch Sean Lee, thinking about that, and like as I got up here, wear number 45. I'm gonna try and like mold my game off of him. He's a great player, knows what to do, really physical, and just a student of the game.
Gotcha. How'd you spend your quarantine and everything, especially with a lot more time on your hands when you have like online classes and didn't have practice for a little bit?
I was in the playbook most of the days watching film. When I had a little bit of downtime, me and my roommates, I'm roommates with Zach Kuntz, Nick Tarburton, Isaac Lutz, and Trevor Baker. Usually just sit down in our living room playing Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
so
Chris Stoll said he watched Game of Thrones like 3 different times.
yeah,
That was very impressive.
yeah,
That's such a long series.
yeah. Something Stoll would do for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what are the Zoom meetings been like? And you're, I guess, more when you're in your position groups and everything like that. How different is that, and how much of an adjustment was that?
Obviously, it's really different from not being in person, not getting that like physical atmosphere. But I guess we're like all kind of used to being on Zoom now because of all the classes and everything. So it's just kind of like just a different step we have to go through to make it work.
Gotcha. When you were kind of on your own and before you were back here in State College, how were you keeping yourself in shape?
I would I would probably just go out to my high school, get on their field and run a little bit, do some drills. And my dad kind of got like a homemade gym going with a little bench and a bar. So I just kind of did that, just kind of maintain my strength.
You know, what is the weirdest story you've heard from your teammates? Like what they were doing to stay in shape. You have anything?
Uh, Honestly, I haven't really heard any like really weird stories. Just kind of making their own home workouts and everything like that. That's pretty much all I have.
Yeah, I think Jesse look at it was talking about working out with some NHL guys and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
I think he was working out with Claude Giroux a couple
yeah,
days. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
You a Flyers fan then?
No, I'm a Pens fan.
Flyers fan. Yeah,
Yeah. My dad grew up in Pittsburgh, so I'm all Pittsburgh.
nice.
Yep.
What do you think about I mean the Steelers obviously not having a game this week, and you kind of do you
Yeah.
think you see that coming at all in the NFL, or are you kind of surprised by it?
Honestly, I kind of saw something coming. I didn't know when it was gonna be, but obviously something's gonna happen there with COVID and everything. It's just a shame I won't be able to watch them this week.
Yeah, especially you got some fantasy guys. I know I got Juju and James Conner, so it's kind of a bummer. But
Yeah.
I guess to piggyback on that, with how do you feel 100% comfortable with the protocols the Big Ten put together and getting you guys to play?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Coach Franklin and our athletic staff have done a great job with all that, making sure we're safe and getting ready for the season, be able to maintain our safety and just come out and just really focus on playing. Don't have to worry about all that other stuff going on.
And he's talked about it a little bit about being accountable and holding everybody accountable, making sure they're staying healthy and out of situations they could possibly get COVID. Do you see that amongst your teammates and kind of making sure that everybody's just staying to themselves and kind of their own type of bubble within the team?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're all taking this very seriously. We obviously want to have a season. We want to have multiple games. We want to obviously take one game at a time and just kind of just go from there. But yeah, everyone's making sure they're staying away from people, staying in their house, staying around football guys, just to take that extra precaution.
Gotcha. Feels like I'm grilling you right now, but I guess it's better in this sitting around staring at each other.
It's all good.
But yeah, no worries, man. What's your favorite spot in State College for food, man?
It's kind of been limited because we obviously can't go out much.
Yeah.
But I would have to say Sakura. It's
Okay.
the hibachi place. I usually kind of order there maybe once a week. It's pretty good. Bunch of guys
Yeah.
in our team like it. Yeah.
I just moved here in June for the work, so I've been kind of get every place. I've been to all the staples and stuff, and I haven't been there though yet.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good for sure.
Are you for ice cream? Are you Myers Dairy or you're all creamery? Or you don't have to answer that because I don't want to get in trouble.
I'm not really a big ice cream guy in general. If I would pick, I'd
Yeah.
have to get like an icy from Sheets or something.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. Slurpees. I grew up in Florida, so we had 7-Eleven Slurpees. That's kind of what we grew up on.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a little different. But yeah, it's big ice cream. This is like ice cream country around here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What was it like getting the pads back on and feeling a little bit in your body or anything, soreness, or I know some guys were talking about that.
It felt great getting them back on. Last time I had shoulder pads and pants on was the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
So it felt real good to get back after it and get some thud work and everything. It was awesome getting them back on.
Did it feel kind of foreign? Did it feel weird a little bit? It was
yeah, no, it really did feel a little bit putting them back on, strapping them up. Totally, it did feel a little bit different, but it feels really good to get them back on.
It's probably the longest time you probably went without putting them on, probably since you started playing football, right?
Yeah, probably. That I can think of, yeah.
Obviously catching up on your off season, it's been quite eventful. I know obviously the Micah change changed things for you as well. So what's been the last couple of months been like watching that and trying to figure out where you're going to play?
It's been interesting, honestly, but it's happy for Micah, happy for his decision. I would have loved him coming back. He's one of the best players in the country. But now it's kind of like that next man up mentality, just kind of working from there. We got great people in the linebacker room that'll fill spots, and I'm really excited for the season.
Where were you mentally prepping to play? Coach Price said now that you're Mike, I guess what's that transition like? Because you started out as Sam, right?
Yeah, I was started out Sam my freshman year, got moved to Will a little bit last year. Now I'm at Mike, but it's a little bit different from being that kind of the guy on that defense. Got to know what's going on with everything. It's a pretty big change for me, but I'm starting to get it down. I feel really comfortable there right now, and I'm excited.
What do you have to get down? Because you were a safety, you saw the whole field and everything like that, and you're just kind of tightening up a little bit, playing in the middle. I mean, what different responsibilities do you have to take on there?
Obviously, you gotta the run first is big thing for me. Gotta read my keys, read the run. If it's a pass, gotta drop back, get in my zone, just kind of play downhill more.
Okay. So what do you think of the guys around you? Obviously, you're replacing 3 new starters at linebacker. Ellis talked yesterday about kind of taking you through some things. So I guess first with Ellis, what have you seen from him, and what kind of teaching points have you picked up from him?
Oh yeah, Ellis is looking really good right now. I'm really excited about him. He's a great player, great student of the game. I guess kind of like the main thing I would pick up from Ellis is just how his like work ethic and how he goes about everything. He's out in practice 20 minutes early on the jugs, catching balls, stretching, getting ready, and just kind of his whole work ethic and how he just learns the game's gonna rub off on me for sure.
And Jesse, obviously, I think he was the guy that was slated to duke it out with Ellis and then moved him over to Will. What have you seen from his offseason preparation and his, I guess, approach so far?
Yeah, over quarantine, I pretty much talk to Jesse every day, just getting workouts done. I've seen his workout videos and everything. We send videos back and forth, and just how he prepares for the season. He's a strong, physical guy, and he knows what he's doing out there. He's going to be a good piece for us this year.
Who has to assume that leadership role? I know Ellis and Jesse both pointed to Jan from last year, but that's a pretty big hole to fill.
Obviously Jan was a great leader for us last year. The middle backer just kind of took control of everything. I think both Ellis and Jesse are going to have a big role in that leadership because they're both really loud, vocal, and just take control over everything.
How do you see this sort of playing out? You guys play a lot of 4-2-5, 2 linebacker sets. Ellis and Jesse, I think, were pulled on a lot of passing downs last year, kind of like they did with Jan. How do you see that working out? And I guess with you as a guy that does have playing in space and everything like that in his past, how do you see that affecting you and affecting the defense as a whole? I guess who do you think ends up doing that?
I feel like anyone in our linebacker room right now could play 4 down straight up. I feel like we're great athletes, great competitors, and just know what we're doing out there. So I feel like whatever coach probably feels is best, he's going to have those guys on the field.
Thoughts on Brandon Smith so far? And I think some people have said he's kind of on another level this year.
Yeah, he looks really good right now. Obviously, he's a big physical guy. And he's going to be a problem this year for sure.
What does he bring to the table?
He brings that length, that speed, that physicality. He's just a big body out open field Sam.
You were one of those guys that had to come in and learn linebacker. I think Lance Dixon's kind of the same way. Have you talked much with Lance, and what have you seen from him progress-wise in the last year?
Oh yeah, I talk to Lance pretty much every day, and he's come a long way from last year for sure. He's getting the linebacker position down. He's learning a lot. He's still physical, still fast, and he's gonna be a big part of our group this year too.
Any thoughts on the new kids so far?
They all look pretty good right now for what I've seen. We've obviously beginning of camp or whatever, we were in different groups, so we didn't really get to see much. But watching film, they look pretty good, and they're gonna fit in great for us.
You've had shoulder issues in the past. Does Mike not scare you, but does that run through your mind at all playing in traffic like that?
No, not at all. I've been feeling 100% healthy, and I'm ready to get after it.
Your place in the linebacker room. Describe it for me. Describe your expectations for this year, and describe the competition you think you're going to face.
My expectation for the group is just to have a great year overall. Just kind of be those guys that run the defense, and the competition in our room is it's great. We get each other better every day, and it's awesome to work with these guys.
You're at Will? Is that right?
Mike.
Mike, okay. So how long have you been there? I don't remember that being.
I just got moved maybe a month or so ago.
I say your coaches mentioned cross training a lot. Is Mike going to be? Is this a cross training moment now, or is this your primary?
I think this is going to be my primary. I've came in as a freshman, was learning Sam. Last year I learned Will a little bit, now Mike. So I just feel Coach probably feels like I can learn every position and play any position. So I feel like it'll help me in the long run, just get on the field more.
What suits you to Mike?
I think Coach probably was saying how like I got bigger, I got stronger. The mental aspect of the game, he feels like I can be a leader of that defense, just kind of take control of everything.
How do you do that?
You just have to be vocal with the guys and just take control when something's going wrong.
Is that your personality? Are you that guy?
I can be if it needs to be.
A couple of the other linebackers said it's not that the room is better with Micah gone, but it's maybe more competitive in that through their three spots where there's competition. Now, how do you see that? I guess working itself out over the year, and can you guys have a rotation in a way, not necessarily the way the D-line does, but in your own way?
Yeah, like they were saying, I feel like our room has great competition. We have a bunch of great guys, and we just come in, we work every day, get each other better. And I think we could potentially maybe have a pretty nice rotation going on because everyone's looking really good right now in camp.
Last thing, you've gotten to see the offensive line a little bit. Now tell me about them. Tell me how they're better than what you saw last year.
The O-line was pretty good last year, but this year they look bigger, stronger, faster, and just they're moving really well right now. And I'm really excited to watch them play.
I've heard the word meaner with regard to them. Does that come into play?
I guess you could say that. Last year, I mean, O-line's kind of always, I guess you would say mean, but I think they're coming out with a different, they're flipping the switch this year and they're ready to get after it.